Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing well. Now I am well and truly in my tropical era. If some of you saw the last video, you'll know I made this tray and it is one of my absolute favorites of 2025. I will link the card here if you missed it. We've got a combination of clear stickers. They are not UV DTF, unfortunately. We've got some pressed leaves, pressed flowers, a laminated parrot, and of course the Cricut vinyl decal of the Hello Summer in the stunning CLAIRESCRAFTYCORNER from Moulds and Shapes. Now these stickers inspired me and they got my heart happy. I'm going to be using the Let's Resin Polyurethane White resin for the base of my closed bezels. You don't need this, you can use your epoxy resin, or you could even paint your closed bezels with white acrylic paint, whatever works best for you. I just so happened to have found my white polyurethane resin in my garage, which is shocking, I know. After 8 months of moving in, I found another box of resin recently, and this was at the bottom. So I was really just hoping it was still going to be okay, and it was still going to work, and luckily it did after 8 months in a box in a garage. So yay, Let's Resin's polyurethane. Thank you very much. Now this is measurable 1:1 by weight or volume, and it is a super speedy, cures in 10 minutes. You are only mixing for 30 seconds. So I've kept all of the footage in that was real time, me mixing the polyurethane. I made way too much. Standard practice for me. I really only needed a little bit for these closed bezels. The bezels themselves are from Amazon and they are just beautiful. I wish I had them in gold or bronze because I think they would have worked better. However, this is what I've got and this is what we are rolling with, and they are still beautiful. The rest of the polyurethane went into a large pendant mold from Moulds and Shapes, which is off to one side, does not feature in this video, but I did pour just a little bit too much into a couple of the bezels. So you see me here using a cotton bud just to scoop out some of that polyurethane. Probably could have used a little plastic spoon and then transferred it into the other molds, but at the time I was panicking because this stuff sets so fast. I was going to leave my phone camera rolling to allow you to see it just turn white instantly before your eyes, but I needed my phone. I needed my phone, so I didn't do that. This is what they're looking like, and this is about 15 to 20 minutes later, and it is time to stick down my washi tape. Now, at the time I didn't realize, I didn't even show you the washi tape. None of this video is sponsored at all, but of course these things were sent to me over the last couple of years. This is the beautiful tropical themed 3-pack washi tape from the Washi Tape shop. Now, I am a Washi Tape shop ambassador, so again the details for that will be down below. But this tape I've used in previous videos and I absolutely love it. Now, my plan was to use my gyro cut tool. Now, I've just laid down the washi tape straight over the closed bezel and that white resin. And I'm just going to use my gyro cut tool to cut it out, basically. Now, you don't need a gyro cut tool. You can use your X-Acto knife in America. I think that's what you call it. Or, of course, your craft blade wherever you are in the world. You can just use that. You can of course use a hole punch. If you've got a circular hole punch that fits your bezels, you can of course use your circular hole punch. Probably will be a lot quicker. I just think for me personally, I like this method because I'm getting more accuracy, and I feel like if I were to cut the holes, like cut the shapes separately, I might not be lining them up, you know, totally accurately like I want. I mean, who am I kidding, guys? There's rarely any accuracy anywhere on my videos, but it's all good. So yeah, just going around, this was the very first bezel that I did, and it was the fiddliest because I was just getting to grips with, you know, cutting it with the gyro cut and not realizing that this one had kind of wrapped itself around itself. And so yeah, the first one was the fiddliest, but then I remembered I hadn't even shown you the washi tape. So this is what it looks like. It is a 3-pack. Again, this video is not sponsored by them, but they did send this to me last year before. It's a stunning set of botanical stroke tropical washi paper tape. And it just works so well. So again, I'm not going to show you in depth, each and every one, cutting them out in depth because no one needs to sit and watch that. But because this was the first one, like I said, it just felt like the most fiddliest. But once I got to grips with it and I realised how I had to do it, it was all fun. Each of these bezels actually has a blob of blue tack on the back, which was making them as flat as possible for when I poured the polyurethane in. Forgot to mention that as well, because it's really professional. Next up, we have these stunning stickers. Now, these stickers are just, I'm telling you, it does something to my soul. I don't know if I was meant to be born in a tropical climate, but then I hate the heat, so maybe not. Again, placing your stickers down, it really just is up to you and your eye. Wherever you want your sticker, put it down and then just cut off the excess. That is what makes this so easy, so simple, and one of the most beautiful, simple yet impactful creations. The squares were much easier, like much easier. Now here's the thing. What would I change if I did this again? Because again, this is always the story of my life. I would pour less polyurethane into each and every bezel. So I didn't want to fill the bezels up. That, of course, was never the plan, because I want to be able to top coat these with UV resin. But I would say 1 or 2 drops less of the polyurethane would have given me a much cleaner, sharper edge, by which I can then run my blade along it. Now, luckily, most of these were fine, and I could literally put my blade right up against that edge and run my blade along it. And again, you would do that with your craft blade. If you had a craft knife, you'd do the same thing. So the squares were definitely easier. But when it came to top coating with resin, I feel like I should have had a bit more room, left a bit more room. So if you are going to go ahead and do this, definitely don't put in as much polyurethane resin as I did, because you can see here, I haven't got much of a lip left to hold that resin in. And it just irks me when the UV resin goes over the metal of the bezel, because I'm not very good at UV resin. And just, hands up, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I'm not very good at UV resin. I'm really liking it. So I just alternated between the washi tape and the stickers. Now, this washi tape from the Washi Tape shop comes pre-cut. Again, not sponsored, just saying. It comes pre-cut, really easy to peel off of the paper, and easy to cut once it's stuck down. These ones do have a white background, so I'm always a little bit nervous that you'll still see the outline. But honestly, once the UV resin is on, it's like something magical happens. You can't see the outline of the tape. These ones have got like gold foil details over the top. So you've got your green leaves, but then you've got gold foil dots and gold foil leaves on top of the green leaves. And the UV resin does something so special to them. I cannot even comprehend with my own eyes what I'm seeing. It's like the gold decal jumps out, 3D vibes. It's stunning. So again, I'm not going to take you through each and every one from start to finish. I'm just showing you snippets here of how easy it was to lay the stickers down using my blade and just running it along the edge. And I think this gyro cut tool really did come into its own when I made these circles, because the gyro cut tool does have that 360-degree spin on the blade, making the circles so easy. Now this one here, I wasn't feeling it, guys. One of the stickers on the kit is a beautiful little sticker and it fits perfectly. But when I looked at the whole collection as a whole, it didn't match. So I do end up taking that off. So don't fall in love with that, please. You fall in love with that another day. Back to the clear sticker. Again, I could also pre-cut the squares. I could measure the squares, make a template for the squares, and pre-cut the squares, or buy a square cutter to fit I didn't. It's so much easier to lay the sticker down and use your X-Acto knife or your gyro cut tool and run it along the edge of that bezel, and you get the cleanest, neatest. Oh, I just love this so much. Love it, love it, loving it, loving it, loving it. Yeah, squares, so much easier than the circles, I have to admit. This is what we're looking like, and you can see on this one, they're quite fiddly to hold as well because they've all got a blob of blue tack on the back, but you can see on this one with that gold decal, the gold embossed detail on top of the green, it's just beautiful, beautiful. Now, what could you, I mean, these are going to be necklaces, but I honestly think if you are a maker, creator, artist, and a seller, and you do craft fairs, I'm telling you right now, you could make 50 of these in a day. Easily. You could make 50 in a day. Like, I made quite a lot here for just this video, and it really did not take much time at all, especially if you've got white polyurethane. Now, that's the key thing here. If you've got white polyurethane, that's the thing that's going to make this go really, really fast. Equally, if you've got a fast curing resin, like Let's Resin do a fast cure. I think it's got a 4-hour cure on it. Again, easily be done in a day. Get all of your bezels laid out, pour one big bulk of resin into all of your bezels all at the same time. It doesn't have to be tropical, can be any theme. So a combination of the washi tape, the tropical stickers from Amazon, and my gyro cut tool, and we have got some beautiful, simple, yet impactful and effective pendants. Now you can see here, this one just didn't fit in with its brothers and sisters. It had to go. Some of you might be like, no, I love that one, Claire, but it just wasn't leafy. I think that's the key thing here. Every other bezel had a leaf, and this one was cactuses. So yeah, it had to go, and it had to become a leaf. I did that off camera because, you know, I don't want you to be asleep at this point. And here we are, all done, and I am so in love. I love everything about these, the simplest. They're just simple and delicate, and it's such an easy, simple project. Again, doesn't have to be tropical, can be anything. Imagine these with purple resin background with holographic foil butterflies or holographic foil images on top. Stunning. Imagine these with a pink epoxy resin background and like something flamingos. Stop it, they're tropical. I should do a flamingo video. Okay, to the UV top coat, we are using the Let's Resin UV resin to top coat these, and this is where I really struggled. I'm not very good at UV top coating. I didn't leave a very big lip in there, put too much in basically. And I'm using my cocktail stick and of course gloves and a respirator. I'm using my cocktail stick to move the UV resin to all of the edges, but they are resting on blue tack. Now, there's a science, obviously. These are not fully as flat and level. That's the key word. They're not as level as I want them to be. So every now and again, I was just getting this little runoff onto the metal part of the bezel, and it aggravates me how I'm not good at it. I could spend ages with the miniature spirit levels, pressing down the blue tack to make sure it's fully flat and level, and still I get this little bit of an irky, wibbly wobbly edge on some of the pieces, but still stunning. Absolutely beautiful. When they are level, it's a lot easier. You can see where the resin is going. This one here was so not level. I ended up wiping it off and doing it all again because it was flowing over the edge. I'd put way too much UV resin on. So again, I love the end result, but this one here tested me. This little one here tested me. I absolutely love it. You can see the way the gold embossed detail pops out and gives it absolute 3D vibes. So again, we're not going start to finish on each and every one of these bezels, but it was eat, sleep, repeat. it was press them down onto the blue tack, try and get them as level as possible, put some UV resin into the center, use a cocktail stick to drag that UV resin out to all of the edges and try not to get it all over the metal bezel because I don't like that look. And under the UV light, they went individually under the UV light. This is the new portable wireless UV light from Let's Resin. Guys, it is a absolute game changer. So easy to use. Now, finishing these off, I've got these faux leather ropes. You can go with the greens, you can go with the pinks, anything contrasting that's going to tie in. For me, I love the look of the neutrals, the natural browns and the neutral shades. I just think for a nature-inspired piece, they work the best. And I think they'd work even better if the bezels were gold or bronze, right? At the moment, we're working with silver bezels, so maybe not ideal. But this is what we are looking like. We've got some close-ups. See the way the gold looks like it's resting on top. Like I can't explain the alchemy that went on here, but I am obsessed. We've got them in sets of 3 here just so you can see them all as a collection. And I think they are absolutely beautiful. That bottom left square up there as one of my favorites. I just think that leaf image is so stunning. I've got the same leaf image on this square, but again, at a different angle. That's the beauty. You can put them on however you want. This is what it's looking like with the natural brown rope. Then we've got the green rope, and then you can contrast it out with a bright pink or, you know, any colour. Depending on what you're doing in your bezels, match it to the rope. For me, the neutrals and the browns work best, but that's just me. That's my personal preference. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. I genuinely truly believe this is such a simple, even though I'm not very good at it, beginner's project. A simple beginner's project. Just don't put as much in at the bottom as I did and you will get far better results than me. Your edges will be crisper, but I'm still obsessed. If you watched my live Q&A last night with Wendy from Toonpish Crafts and Andy from Custom Carving and Epoxy Resin, I was on his podcast last night with Wendy and I was wearing top left, this one here, the circle. I was wearing that with my tropical kimono because I'm in my tropical era and I love them. Truly, just yes. These would sell at a craft fair in a heartbeat. So if you are into markets, maker markets, craft fairs, this one is definitely one for you. Of course, choose your theme, whatever works best for you. It doesn't have to be tropical. I hope you've really enjoyed this video and feel inspired, even in its simplicity. I hope you get inspiration from this one. Thank you so much if you are still here and if you're with me in the live chat. I love you guys. Thank you so much, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.